This post on the One Punch Man subreddit is kind of popping off right now. Animator Eva Koi. I don't know how to say their name. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Bleach. 1000-Year Blood War. Vinland Saga. Speaks regarding One Punch Man Season 3. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say JC staff got no talent. Nicholas Light is right. Everyone should lose their jobs, especially those with kids. Yes, and if there's any single mothers, they should lose their jobs twice. Nah, I'm sure that's what's going on. A lot of motion happening right now. It's been only posted 4 hours ago. There is a tweet in response right over here to their main post, which is pretty funny that they provided basically their resume of the cuts, right? To show that I have credibility and they make amazing work. You know what the craziest thing is? The craziest thing is, Eva Koi is in my Discord. You want to join my Discord? You got to join my stream. It is a rare drop. Look at this. At Eva Koi. That's them right there. I don't know why this animator is in my Discord. I'm not saying that I don't want them here. I'm just shocked that industry talent, exceptional talent, is in my Discord shitposting and talking about projects they're working on. Maybe they saw one of my anime reactions to their cuts and they enjoyed it. Based. Let's check this out. Hi, Twitter. I'm a 22-year-old 2D animator, and here are some of the animation works I've directed. Thanks to everyone who helped me this year. I'm not gonna look at every single part, but let's just look at just skim over it, right? Do you guys recognize this anime? I don't recognize this anime. I think they worked on Arknights recently that I watched. I don't recognize this anime either. They look really good though. What are these? Do you guys know? I genuinely don't know. This is all the same. This looks like a gacha game. Ain't this some HSR? Yeah, no. This is Wuthering Waves. This is Rover. So Wuthering Waves animation cuts. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. And then this is... What is this one? More other video game animation stuff? I don't know. More gacha game stuff? Gacha projects? I think so. A lot of it, I think, just woo-wah, huh? ZZZ, Zenless Zone Zero. So, Eva Koi has motion in not in terms of just like top tier battle shonen anime, but like top tier gacha games too, from Hoyoverse stuff. And, you know, obviously, you know, Kuro. That's really cool to see. And I love how they preface this tweet showing the resume and the work in order to give credibility, because they're gonna start talking shit, right? Not talking shit, but like explaining out of frustration due to the ignorance of the masses, shitting on One Punch Man, and they're gonna give their own insight. But this tweet, 52K, fucking crazy, bro. His analyst profile is stacked. Eva Koi analyst. All right. That's the Eva Koi right there. 22 years old. St. Petersburg, Russia. Arknights. Yeah, that's the anime that we recently watched. Key animation for Lazarus. Say what you will about, you know, Lazarus, the anime. The animation is actually really good. ReZero, episode 9, key animation. Oh, Elusive Samurai. Oh, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. This is also really Destruction. Can't. Woo. Metallic Rouge. Bash. Undead Unlock. Chisei. I forgot the anime name. Shangri-La Frontier. Bleach. JJK. Mushoku Tensei. Black Clover. What the fuck? Hell's Paradise. Vinland Saga. Bleach Blue Lock. Not season 2. Not season 2. Yo, this Tate no Yusha. Season 2, but for a specific episode, I think this is the actual good parts of season 2. MHA. Dude, this resume is crazy. What the fuck? Like, usually there's a bunch of filler bad projects and then usually like one good project later on, but this dude from the beginning just started popping off on all the fucking top tier names. So I would assume that this person actually knows what the fuck they're talking about, rather than random YouTubers like myself or fucking retards on Twitter or Reddit making shit about One Punch Man. All right, since like half of the comments about One Punch Man season 3, I'm just gonna answer here and just copy paste for future. No, if they're hiring me on One Punch Man season 3, my cut would not magically have saved the show. Exactly. You saw episode 5. You saw Van Oba's cut. Just because they worked on it doesn't mean it's gonna realize its full potential. It just would not going to look better than it's already, because there's a core problem. The schedule is very bad. Most of the people I see who worked on that season are not bad animators. They're just forced to struggle against very tight deadlines. Nah, this guy just wants to make it on the Trash Taste podcast. This guy is a fucking paid shill. He's like Henry Thurlow, but not bald yet. Bro just wanna specifically target Nicholas Light because Bandai Namco hired him to do so. Sure, yeah, I'm sure that's what's going on. If you got some genius artist like Da Vinci and asked him to draw Mona Lisa in 15 minutes, he surprisingly won't be able to draw Mona Lisa. Right? I gave you that we've been going through the restaurant analogy. Gordon Ramsay, beef Wellington, 30 seconds. It ain't gonna come right. No matter what talent there is, if there isn't time to realize it, it ain't gonna come right. This problem touches One Punch Man Season 3 from the very beginning. They found only person who agreed to do it in a tight deadline, Shinpei Nagai. Trailer director was another person. They have not started production back then. Director leaves. They start to search for a new director. Smart. Honestly, fucking smart, bro. Because that director on that previous trailer, I think they're talking about the pre-animated trailer, right? The one that Aoki was the one animating too, right? I think the director realized this is a fucking shit show and I am gonna get dragged. I am leaving. Good idea. That's what I would have done too. And then Shinpei Nagai came in. I have no clue why they would even choose to do this when they don't even specialize in action anime. They do slice of life, comedy, dialogue-driven anime. And there is a lot of dialogue-driven moments in the episodes itself too, but it's shocking they would do this. And if he wouldn't agree, Shinpei Nagai, there would have been no Season 3 of One Punch Man at all. To be completely honest with you, I would have preferred that. I think that I would have preferred Season 3 to never exist and potentially get a treatment from a different team than for it to be rushed. That's how I feel. I don't want content for the sake of having content. I want art to be I want art to basically, I want good things to happen to good shows. I have the Megumi mindset from JJK. In this fucked up world, in this fucked up industry where business conflicts with artists' ideals, so many shows and series get butchered for the sake of just bottom line. And it's so nice every once in a while. Like you see Chainsaw Man, right? The movie was, Jujutsu Kaisen culling games, I'm sure it's going to be fucking amazing. Frieden, for sure. Takopi is another show that I remember just now. These shows, amazing art, amazing, actual story and substance being delivered, amazing animation. It's so cool to see. And I would have loved that to see that happen to One Punch Man. Or I could just wait another 6 years. I genuinely wouldn't care. I'm sure a lot of people might still want it though, but I think that it's better to wait for quality than to just get a rush project. And even if we would never get One Punch Man season at all, maybe it's better that way. I don't know. Part of me is like, maybe it is better that way, that this is just not going to happen. Rather than getting a shitty, ruined image of Season 3 during Garo arc, which I fucking love, just not having it. Maybe. Anime is really not a source of money. It usually is made to sell manga. And in One Punch Man's case, the manga is extremely popular. So they do not really bother doing the anime. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about, like obviously, anime viewership, it doesn't really drive, Season 2 green flags. Unless, in the beginning, they already said, we're going to do, Season 1 and Season 2, or, Core 1, Core 2 announced. They don't really look at anime viewership as much as they look at merch sales, right? And in terms of merch sales, also the manga sales. And since the manga is so fucking peak, why bother? And then on top of that, too, the DVD merch sales for Season 1, I heard was very lackluster. Not bad, but, not, top-tier elite status. And Bandai Namco, I think, shifted priorities. Season 2 merch sales was probably even less than that. So it kind of makes sense, right? Again, just guessing right now. I don't know if it's true or not. That's why you have such long breaks between seasons. 6 years. Season 1 was insanely good, but it was driven by passion and had very similar resources, though they had a bit more time. Technically, production committee could make One Punch Man Season 3 gathering the talent by just buying them for huge money. But it's a huge loss, and the big companies do not usually operate like that. And that's why there's so much different, production committees working on a project, right? So many different studios coming in, different corporate entities bidding in so that a company doesn't just go fucking belly up when they try to go in on a project and die, right? Streaming gives very low profit. Most of the money comes from the screening in cinema, as people do not buy Blu-ray anymore. So that's why you see so many premieres of TV shows in movie theaters. Oh, another industry inside and think about. Blu-ray DVDs are out of meta. The push for movies is not just based off of obviously the success of the movies itself, but the industry changing around people's incentives and desires. Obviously, that makes sense, but okay, that's why so many movies are being greenlit. Unfortunately, that is just a reality, and it's very unlikely to make something good, even if I joined. And you know what? If he joined, Nicholas Light, nah, off with his head. Lose your job. 22? Nah, you need to be homeless. Nah, you need to be fired for that shit. And then you scroll down and you see, oh, right, shit. Even the JC staff, you know, I don't know if they all worked on it, but you saw a lot of credits from like JC staff, right? In the Chainsaw Man credits roll. And JJK, like, industry talent goes out to help each other on different projects. It's like, the idea that they should all just lose their jobs and that they're all fucking talentless is crazy to me. Off of fucking color design that's locked in. I do question their usage of the color filters though. That is, why are you doing this so fucking often? I would assume Mr. Nagai could have done amazing things if he was working on the show right now from the end of season 2. Well, yeah, with the 6-year project for sure. But it seems that he started working on One Punch Man season 3 in 2025. This year. You often see ambitious scenes that are done poorly because there is some talent involved in the show. But the scene needed to go through Sakan, Genga Sakan, Doga, Shiage, Satse. Oh my, what is? I know Genga. Genga is basically the draft, right? The storyboard. I don't know if Genga is storyboard though. Like, when I say storyboard or Genga, is that the same thing as me saying Attack on Titan versus Shingeki no Kyojin? You know? Is that just a weeb's way of explaining? Genga is key animation. What is Sakan? Anyone know? Any Sakugatards know? Genga's key animation, basically polishing the layout, drawing for the key frames. Got it. Okay. Anyone know what Sakan is? Anyway, there's a lot of different, you know, steps involved. It is a very difficult job to make all those in a short time, but it would have been impossible without the organized system to make even anything in a tight schedule. And there it is. Honestly, I would rather know One Punch Man season 3 than what we get, but yeah, everybody knew it was a schedule problem and greed from JC staff's higher ups in Bandai. That's kind of where I'm at too. I find it interesting why everyone specificate on Bandai, cause in my mind they are like one fifth part of the problem. There are so many different companies in the production committee, and this is true. This is absolutely true. If you don't know, One Punch Man season 3 annual list, right? Look right here. There are so many different corporate entities pitching in as producers. Obviously, Bandai Namco is probably the biggest name that is recognized here, right? Shueisha too. It doesn't help that every beginning of the episode you see Bandai Namco Filmworks, you know, credits, right? And I think a lot of people just assume that Bandai is the biggest influence of the producers, even though there's so many on board, and they're blaming it more on that because they think they're the significant ones in problem. I think there is even more carryover from last year's problem with Blue Lock, for example, or let's say, yeah, Blue Lock season 2, right? And I think, like for example, right here, Blue Lock season 2, right? Remember this? This is also 8-bit Studio, but Bandai Namco Filmworks there as part of the production staff. And then there was also like some other animes like Mahoka and Tensei season 3 that Bandai had. And these are very rushed projects that I think could have been done way better. I think these are the reasons why a lot of people kind of focus on Bandai specifically about that. And Bandai themselves have a very good animated shows like Sunrise Gundam stuff lately, or Gintama movie made by Bandai Namco Pictures, etc. Exactly, they do make good content. It's not like Mr. Bandai came and said One Punch Man will have a shit schedule and budget. Some people genuinely believe that like this is Japan trolling the international audience. I've read some retarded comments saying, yo, they saw how annoying the international audience was, so they decided to make One Punch Man season 3 bad just to own the internationals. And I'm like, do you actually believe this? This is an insane conspiracy. But they did the same thing to Blue Lock season 2 though. No, they didn't. Bandai does not own Blue Lock IP, same as One Punch Man. They're just part of the production committee. Yeah, but again, people like Red Bull, I'm explaining like from the past experiences of Bandai being on part of that and kind of connecting the dots, they think that there's like some sort of like logical conclusion there that Bandai is the one that's botching everything. Isn't production committee the ones who choose scheduling and things? Yes, but then why do you blame 1/6 of it and not just the whole thing? Bandai had different companies in both. Blue Lock is made with the help of Bandai Spirits. One Punch Man at Bandai Namco Filmworks. I mean, normal people don't see things like that, but yeah, sure. Anything else? I would rather not make a new season. Same with me. Although it's true, I'm pretty sure that when they announced it, it had different director, and you cannot undo the announcement when the director leaves. Ooh. So, who is this director? is this director? We have a name here, I think, right? What is this guy on? This guy. This guy jumped ship. He took the project and jumped ship, and they try to find a different director. And at that point, I guess you just can't even cancel the project? Like, during trying to find a new director? I don't know. But this is the guy, and they've worked on, you know, here's the credits for that. Sakamoto Days Part 2 hype. Ooh. This is the Yuri anime, Monster Wants to Eat Me. This fucking anime disappointed me. Gachi Yakuta, Silent Witch, great. This resume is great. Vigilantes, Apothecary Diary. Hey, Guild, this one was really good too. Solo Leveling, let's fucking go Orb. Yo, the resume is pretty... Tower of God. Episode 1 was alright. But, you know, no one's gonna ever talk about this guy because Shinpai Nagai obviously is the scapegoat, right? That's why I keep saying, like, bro's getting thrown into a fucking dumpster fire. Let's read the Reddit comments. Is this why we really don't get a Berserk anime? Should the next season just be a trio of films like Demon Slayer? Yes and yes. I don't know. Berserk is probably too much of a niche, and even if now platforms like Netflix are fine with ultra violent stuff, it would probably have some Castlevania DMC treatment. Well, they definitely succeeded in boosting the manga sales, which they didn't even need. In the end, the anime achieved more than what it was supposed to. The director over-delivered. It seems like the anime only are an unwanted group anyways. That's a success, I guess. I don't know. It feels like they dealt a major blow to the reputation of One Punch Man. Well, I think they dealt a major blow to the reputation of JC's staff, right? Even though JC's staff has different talent and different production lines that are capable of making great animes, right? One Punch Man, I think, will always have clout. The manga is always there, and season 1 is there too. I don't think reputation is going to go down, but in terms of like JC's staff, the studio, when people recognize that name, it's going to be even more hated now. Yeah, well, I ain't grateful it happened. I would rather have it never been made at all if this was a product. Yeah, but like Eva Koi is also providing insight that they were already locked into it and there was no outs. I don't know. This has been known even before the anime started airing, but people refused to acknowledge it. It was doomed the moment we didn't get any trailers at all. Remember this summer while we were covering One Punch Man hype marketing, how there was no fucking news about production staff, trailers being same scenes over and over again. And it was pretty obvious. The writing was on the wall. So many content creators, such as myself, were just saying, this is looking bad, right? I saw Probably Pretentious, I saw Senshi, I saw so many others saying, this is looking like it's gonna be a shit show. And guess what? It was a shit show. I guess people just kind of had that like hope, you know, that it would be different. So bad management for season 3. Animators are struggling against a tight deadline. With their own cuts not making it into the episode, that's in graphics crunch. Even if they hire top tier animators, right, directors, they probably won't accept the job. It's practically asking for a miracle, which is impossible. Can someone verify the streaming service statement? Clearly, JP practice of buying Blu-rays isn't profitable anymore. Yeah, this is a really interesting insight. So the blame is still on Bandai Namco, and the mismanagement is of the JC studio, not the animators. Yes, that's literally what everyone's been saying. Not everybody. Some people are saying these animators should just fucking lose all their jobs. It's just a lot of casual audience never realized how anime industry works and just decided to blame the animators instead. True. Absolutely. The blind leading the blind, right? So many tourists, so many people that are casual watchers that have no idea being, you know, given misinformation, and then obviously they're fucking upset and angry. They're going to rally off of that. It's a mob mentality. Season 3 issue has always been very clearly due to bad management. A bad production won't go unnoticed by the production committee, but the majority of the time you would see an anime was done poorly. Almost every professional animator could tell you it's either a lack of budget or not time to mimic it. What is this? 100 bits. All right, Unknown Legend. Bandai Namco is not bits, points. Bandai Namco is often blamed because they're the top producer and the main manager for the anime. Sometimes the committee, yeah. That's Sakan also is animation director. Okay, yeah, that's what I said before too, right? About how Bandai Namco is the most easily recognized one. People forget one important thing, the most important thing that decided anime is airing when the TV has an open slot. And that's pretty much it. I think that we're just kind of spinning the bottle right now over and over again, just going in circles about who to blame. And it's still the same thing. It's literally the same statements that we've known. It's just that, again, right? Due to certain content creators spreading misinformation with such a sizable audience and more people spreading that bullshit, right? Even Eva Koi is like, bro, I think that now reading the statement, it sounds like Eva Koi never really had an intention to actually like give an explanation about One Punch Man. They just wanted to pop off with their, you know, resume highlight reel, right? Their best cuts, and wanted to share it. And a bunch of dumbasses were just kind of talking about One Punch Man season 3 and stuff like that. One last comment, Evakoi, I'll do it for you. Nah. I won't stand by this. IBN 9000 came in and said, generic action and anime style, and it's confusing what's happening on the screen. I would lose it. I would lose my job. If I was Evakoi, I would crash out and I would become blacklisted because of the things that I would say. And that's what I love about being a filthy reaction channel on YouTube. I have no corporate sponsors. I have no need to censor my words. Evakoi needs to watch out in order to obviously be professional. I don't need to do that. I'll do that for you. Shut the fuck up, you fucking tourist. You have 6,696 fucking people that you follow. But this is great. This is the most fucking 36.7k posts. Holy shit. I love Suisei. I don't think Suisei would approve of this fucking action. You see this, and this is confusing? This isn't even insane smearing happening. What do you mean? The action that I see are very clean cut. The art style is distinct. I love the line work. I love the camera work. I love the way that it's moving. It is enticing. It is beautiful. And generic action and anime style. Huh. I find this, what's it called? Pedantic and, what does Peter Griffin say? I find this pedantic and shallow and pedantic, rocking my fingers. You don't even know what you're fucking looking at. Do you know these are from like different shorts, right? Surely with context, it's easier to understand what is happening on screen. I hate this shit. I hate this shit. I'll give you a like for that. Thank you, Evakoi, for the content. Thank you for giving us the insight about One Punch Man. I think that the most interesting parts of today is learning about, again, like, what was it? Learning about these Blu-ray merch, right? The reason why so many people are pushing for movies, the meta of Blu-ray merch sales dropping down, Japan pivoting and stuff like that. It's very interesting stuff. And also the manga sales too, right? Manga sales are very important, and how if the manga is already doing well, why would they care? And on top of that, One Punch Man is already such a big name and has so much clout that they probably think that the big name will simply be enough for people to just eat up shit, right? I think that's what's going on. That's pretty much it. Please go check out Evakoi on Twitter. Here is their resume of the crazy cuts. Go check it out. Go check out some of the animes that they've made, because they've been making to, you know, with the team. It's crazy. I'm just looking at this resume and I'm like, yo, I've seen pretty much every single one of these, and they are fucking quality. They are extremely polished. Bro is just popping off, doing key animations, coming in and just delivering godlike cuts and leaving. I've done my job. Right over here, I think the most recent anime that I've seen from Evakoi was this one right here, right? Arc Knights. I know it's an anime that is not going to be something most of you guys want, because it's a gacha game anime, which is in its third season, but I recommend it if you care about Arc Knights. See you next time.